During my visit to Oxford, I realized that St. Michael at the North Gate is not only Oxford's oldest church, but also its oldest building with a tower that dates back to 1040 AD. It has seen the growth of medieval Oxford into one of the world's leading universities and was already nearly 500 years old at the time of the turbulent events of the English Reformation, to which our beloved Anglican Communion owes its origins. It was here in Oxford on March 21st, 1556, that Thomas Cranmer, the Archbishop of Canterbury, was executed by being burnt at the stake. His colleagues, Nicholas Ridley, Bishop of London, and Hugh Latimer, Bishop of Worcester, had suffered the same fate 6 months earlier. Thomas Cranmer's Book of Common Prayer continues to be foundational for Anglican worship throughout the worldwide communion. But nearly 500 years after his martyrdom, we face a crisis of similar significance. Over the past 25 years, under successive archbishops of Canterbury, the Anglican Communion has been unable to make decisions based on the plain meaning of Scripture. Provinces which have abandoned biblical teaching on sin, marriage, and sexuality have done so with impunity and torn the fabric of our communion. I do, however, believe that the Global South Fellowship of Anglican Churches, GSFA, is an instrument God has raised up to bring unity and secure faithful Anglican witness for the future. If we are willing to learn from the example of these brave men, the best days of the Anglican Communion could yet be to come. Their sacrifice reminds us that truth really does matter. Under great pressure after the execution of his friends, Thomas Cranmer renounced his evangelical faith. Here at St. Mary's, the university's church, he was expected to confirm the recantation of his evangelical faith, and a special platform was built for the purpose. But instead, he boldly proclaimed his reformed convictions and was promptly dragged off to be burnt. He then deliberately held the hand which had signed the recantation in the fire. For Cranmer, Ridley, and Latimer, faithfulness to Christ means being able to distinguish the difference between truth and error, between teaching that was faithful to Christ and teaching that was contrary to Christ. Now as then, truth matters. In 2019, the Global South Fellowship of Anglicans, GSFA, adopted the Cairo Covenant, which commits us to historic Anglican faith. Although, of course, each Anglican province is legally self-governing, we enter into this covenant relationship because we are not spiritually self-governing. This is an historic change in the leadership of our communion. We are for the first time giving proper recognition to the need for mutual accountability under the authority of the Holy Scriptures. This opens up the exciting possibility of worldwide communion, which is united and renewed in its calling to make disciples of all the nations. May God give us such love and courage that His great purposes may be fulfilled through us in our generation.